first and foremost, do you think it's fair Lewis Hamilton being awarded a knighthood?
I'm not a big fan of sportsmen being knighted or sportswomen being given Dame Swords or whatever just for what they've done in sport.
What if they've overachieved though? You say just for what they've done in sport.
No,
he's not just done.
But
in
you're
sport.
doing
He's
something.
overachieved.
Yeah, but you're doing what you love doing, and you're getting paid to do what you love doing for your hobby, basically. If it's someone like Sir Ian Botham, right, who's a brilliant cricketer, but then did loads of charity work. Obviously, his walks are very famous, aren't they? Raising hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds for charity for other causes, then absolutely. If you've been philanthropic or tropic, if you've done stuff for society or for welfare after you finish playing sport, then
But Lewis
absolutely.
Hamilton has been doing. He's been doing a lot with the Black Lives Matter movement, and also loads of other social injustice causes. He's been really doing that hard.
But then
the last year at least.
But then if that goes on, obviously, and he is very passionate about it, if that goes on for the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years, then great. So how do you feel about sportsmen getting knighthood?
I don't like it when they're still playing their sport. So when they're still doing their sport, I'm not a fan of it, and I feel like it should almost be an award given when you retire. That's my own personal opinion on it. But in terms of him being awarded, I think he's very much done enough.
He's one of the greatest sportsmen the country's ever produced, and there's a perception of Lewis Hamilton that he's privileged because he has a jet-set lifestyle, doesn't he? He's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
And people forget that he comes from just normal, humble backgrounds in Stevenage. He was spotted at go-karting. You know, his dad helped him obviously through his career, and the way that he's risen up through the ranks is unbelievable. He's obviously had the financial backing once he's with the teams. He's once you're there, which is fine. I wasn't particularly keen on Andy Murray getting a knighthood because obviously winning the Olympics and winning Wimbledon just for what you do in sport. I think there's other people, far more people in society who deserve knighthoods and, you know, in the New Year's Honours list more. For instance, this year, now we've got vaccines that are coming up, obviously, for COVID-19. How many people have worked diligently behind the scenes to produce a vaccine within, 6 months? Which is
the
unheard
NHS
of.
staff and what
and
they've
the
done
NHS
as well.
staff, what they do as well. So with sports people, I just think that you're
paid to do the job.
Yeah, and you're not giving yourself because you love doing football.
So you don't
it's
think
all
there
about
should be
just for you.
So it shouldn't be this recognition. You don't think they should get recognition when you overachieve. He's overachieved.
It's not even overachieving. No, because you're doing the sport for yourself. If you're doing the sport for yourself, which is fantastic, and you're successful, I'm pleased for anybody who does really well. Where whether it's financially or just spirit, whatever it is, brilliant. But then if you're giving something to other people, or you're trying to make other people's, like Marcus Rashford, for instance, right? He's obviously really involved in the free school meals because the situation that he comes from when he was younger.
He's been honoured in the New Year's list.
He's been honoured, but then if it goes ahead and he finishes playing football when he's 35, whatever age is, and he carries on that fantastic work he's doing now, and he gets to 40, 45, and that is still a big passion for him, then absolutely. It runs alongside. You've had a fantastic sports career.
You're saying not just your sporting career, but you've got to do
It's
something.
got to be other thing.
Humanitarian as well.
Well, not necessarily. For good causes, or if you have a charity, or where it's because you're doing sport for you. Primarily, it's just for you, and then you can give joy to other people because they watch you and they love your success, which is great. But then I think there should be other stuff that goes along with it to get your knighthood.
What about, and I think this is a fantastic argument, especially because it's Formula One, what about the amount of people that Lewis Hamilton's inspired that have come from underprivileged backgrounds, council estates, that maybe thought, that's impossible, we're never going to get there just because of how much it costs? What about the millions of kids he's inspired in this country to say, we can actually do this as well?
Yeah, that's fantastic. You sportsmen do inspire people and do change people's lives, and hopefully for the better.
No, but it's different from like a footballer. The
Why?
background.
What's different?
What's different? Because most footballers do come from underprivileged backgrounds. Most Formula One guys and girls don't come from underprivileged backgrounds. It's very rare.
Right. But then you still, I think, have to do something else for society, because even when someone inspires you and you're playing your sport and you're aspiring to make your life better, it's still for you. It's not for anybody else, is it? And then when you get to the level where you're very successful, if you inspire other people, fantastic. But that's not why you first start doing it. You do it for yourself. So then when you start doing stuff for other people, making other people's lives better and change other people's lives for the good, then absolutely. But I'm not a big fan of just getting knighthood just because you're a brilliant sportsman.
So no Sir Lewis Hamilton for you?
Not at the moment. No, not at the moment. I was saying with Andy Murray, I was exactly the same with Andy Murray at the time. And if you do, you'd say like Sir Ian Botham.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I get it. Fantastic cricketer, one of the best all-rounders all time. And you add on that charity work where he's doing things for other people to make other people's lives better. Absolutely. Not a problem with that. I think two things have to run side by side.